What's that though? Enemies? Yes. Well, that's not friendly to me. Yep, this is the place I was looking for before. Trying to make my way up here. Awesome. Glad I found it. This one goes nowhere, doesn't it? Nope. There we go, now I've waited long enough. And I've completed this quest. Channel to the Farmer's Coast. Before I go in this, definitely gotta save. If this is anything like the last one I went through, it put me up on a ledge that I would have died to jump off. Which it hasn't. Ah, it's here. And this is where I went through there, and it puts me on a ledge I can't get down from. I was here earlier today. So I've explored all of that area now. Yep, I've waited long enough. I had to wait till the Starlings map had been decoded. Now it has. I need to meet Kalia in front of the Emporium. I will use one of these scrolls. Before I go there though,
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Can I help you? Idiots.
let's go home and rest till morning.
Can I help you?
This game takes so long to load. Not actually sure where I'm going, so better be following these markers. Looks like it's in the Sun Temple.
At the horizon, thy name is my sacrament, and thy path.
Hello.
Saira, it's good to see you. So, are you ready? The Grandmaster said by tonight Skyrim should have deciphered the old maps.
The following decision triggers events which lead to the end of Enderal. If there is still something you have to do in the game world, you should do that beforehand. Oh. Give me a little bit more time. I have to take care of something else first.
Fine. Truth be told, I don't mind that either. I have a bad feeling about all this.
Oh, that sounds like I'm getting very close. I'm going to give it a hard save. And that'll be my last hard save before finishing the game. And then we can load back there to continue exploring and stuff later. I'm ready.
Alright then, let's wait until nightfall.
I just waited until daytime.
Go on ahead, I'll follow.
Prophet, there's good news. We were able to decipher the Starlings maps, and we now know where to find the City of 1,000 Floods.
Where?
Sharon was just about to explain. Sharon, Prophet.
Yes. I suppose you already know that Vin hasn't always been like it is now. In the time of the Pyreans, it was one big continent, which they called Pangora. Only the Starfall, in the era of Azateron's madness, split it apart. In other words, the Pyreans dominated the entire world as it was back then. It was a world empire. However, until recently, we always thought that the Empire's capital, the City of 1,000 Floods, was situated somewhere near where Kira is today. We were wrong about that. It was here, in Enderal.
Here.
Here, beneath our feet, to be precise.
Under Ark.
Interesting.
Yes. We don't know whether it was a coincidence that Malfa's vassals set the foundation of Ark here, out of all the places they could have. But they did. The heart of the Pyrean Empire was here, right where we stand. Only it's buried now.
Obviously. But if that's true, how come no one ever found it? There were expeditions into the tunnels below the city, weren't there?
Hardly.
Sadly, the Order never cared much for archaeology. We considered it a useless endeavor. And even if there had been private undertakings, the dangers such an expedition posed, let alone its costs, would have scared off most investors.
But still, you're right. If the Order would have bothered, we could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble. However, it doesn't matter now. What matters is we now know where the last cleansing took place, and that it's somewhere we can reach.
So we need to get down there. But how? It would take years to dig that deep.
True, but there might be another way. Do you know the myth of the Black Guardian? The Endralians believe that there is some kind of demon deep down below the surface, and that you can even hear him scream if you just listen carefully. Rubbish, of course, but I think that these screams are the sound of wind.
Makes
And
sense.
if there's wind,
There are tunnels. So are you suggesting that the Undercity's cavern reaches that deep? Into the City of Floods?
into what is left of it. All we need to do is find an entrance point that can lead us down.
Then we leave without further delay. There's no point in leading an army down there, so the four of us will go alone. Prophet, speak to the Archmagister and tell him to give you the word of the dead and the container for the Numenors. We will need both. He's at the beacon.
Shouldn't we at least think this through before we go?
Ready your equipment. We'll meet at the gate to the Undercity.
So, me, Kalia, and those two are the only four going. I guess, Jaspar's probably still injured. So he's not able to.
Oh, aren't you... never mind. How can I help you?
I'm looking for the Archmagister. I was told he was here.
He was. But he went to get something. Why don't you wait until he comes back? I have to admit that it's a great honor to finally meet you in person. You know, when all this started, when the Grand Master exalted you, I thought it was a sin. Granting an Outlander what we have to fight so hard for. But now... Phew! I think Malphas, or whoever sent you, that he did. We owe you a lot. Really.
I do what I can.
And you're modest, too. Say, may I ask you something?
What?
The beacon. Do you really think it'll work? I mean, I'm just a novice, but if it can really banish the High Ones, how come the Pyreans couldn't save themselves?
That's a
I
good
just don't
question.
understand.
Yeah. Honestly, me neither. But I don't think we have any other options.
You know, I lost someone not too long ago. It was the Naramis, under the command of that butcher Korik. My family has a small farm near the coast, and when the first of the Naramis ships landed, I immediately rode to them to get them into the city, into safety.
What happened?
I'm sorry. This isn't easy. Our farm. It's on a small cliff near the farmer's coast. Just a few miles from Ark. I already had a bad feeling when I set out. And then I saw the smoke. And then there was that smell. And
What smell? I think I know what smell. The smell of burning flesh.
the smell of burnt meat.
Yep.
It was everywhere. I rode faster and faster, and then when I got to the house, I saw that it was on fire, and that someone had put up 3 crosses, and they were burning too. My mother, my father, and my sister, they were still alive, you know?
Wow.
And I just stood there, and there was nothing I could do. Do you understand? Nothing. And it doesn't matter how I try to look at it. It all amounts to one thing. I was too weak. I was too late, and I was too weak.
You weren't
That
weak at
wouldn't
all.
have happened to you, would it? You would have done something. You would have saved them. Just as you'll save us. If I could just be more like you, then Your flesh. Yes, that's it.
Oh,
All I need is a piece of your flesh. And nothing like that will ever happen again.
Piece of my flesh? There was nothing you could have done. The only way to stop any of that is if you were earlier. And then you would have had to fight off a whole army. And you probably would have ended up there as well. So it's better you're still here than nobody. Okay, what?
Why? Is that so hard to understand? I don't want much. Just a small piece of it. But you just don't want to share. Isn't that it? You want it all for yourself. Because you're vain. And in all your damn vanity, you don't even see the futility of the whole thing.
It is my body.
The beacon won't burn. It never will. Thousands have tried it before you. Thousands who are as arrogant as you are. And they all failed.
How did they say? Just let yourself fall.
Because the light will burn. It will devour you until there's nothing left of you. Nothing but burnt flesh.
Nice and crisp. You're familiar with that, aren't you?
Prophet.
Battle music? What?
By Malthus. Tell him to stop.
What? Whoa.
Malthus. We need to stop him.
That one.
By the name of the sun. They were possessed.
They were.
How is that possible? I thought the sigil stone protects us.
Obviously it doesn't. What about the beacon? How badly is it damaged?
Oh, of course. Wait.
Well, forget what I said before.
Acceptable limits. Nothing we shouldn't be able to repair. But wait. What is that noise? Oh, by the righteous path. I think you should see this.
I'm trying to look.
What in blazes happened here? And what is that noise?
The Neremese. They are in the city. Their entire army.
What? No. This is impossible. This is impossible! And this? What's the meaning of this bloodbath?
I don't know, Grandmaster. The High Ones somehow were able to possess the Keepers here. They tried to destroy the beacon and kill the Prodigy.
What? But the stone,
Grandmaster, you have to see this.
What? That the Neremese are in the city? I know that already.
No, we know how they did it. The true Chessa betrayed us.
Nonsense.
It's the truth. She and almost a third of the Keepers followed Vartar's example. Come, you should hear it for yourself.
Oh.
I ordered that the temple gates be closed right away and positioned archers on the battlements. At least for now, none of these Neremese bastards will enter the temple.
Well done.
There, she survived it. Open your eyes, traitor.
What? Hi, Grandmaster. I am so sorry. It shouldn't have happened like that. Oh, my Malthus. What have I done?
Tell us what happened.
Of course, Grandmaster.
He's just staring at me.
I will. The Truchessa. She contacted Korak and asked for...
We will, once we're done. Continue. The Truchessa arranged a meeting with Korak. What did she want from him?
A truce. She offered him the city. If he would promise not to harm anyone, she had this stone. You know, the sigil stone that protects us keepers from the High Ones. Korak, he agreed. But once the gates were open, he
Killed everyone.
Yes, the Trichessa. He just... Even though she kept her end of the bargain. Then they swarmed into the city and... Oh, by Malphas, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Take her to the Carrarium.
Yes, yes, of course, Grandmaster. Lirum, get her, bring me a stretcher.
Wait. You have to forgive me. I mean, we only wanted the best. You have to believe me. Please don't let me die as a pathless. Please.
I forgive you. Now go.
Yes. Yes, of course, Grandmaster.
Damn.
What are your orders, Grandmaster? We aren't many, but if we use cunning, we might be able to drive them back out of...
We will not. We are no more than 6 up here, and the Narimis are thousands. And both our black powder and our boiling oil are in the barracks.
Then it's over. We have lost.
What? No! Nothing is over! They can't be that far into the city yet. We only have to drive them out of the gates and then...
And how exactly are you planning to do that? By loading the cannons with sugar mint and shooting balls of herbs at the Naramis? Great idea, really.
You sodding!
Quiet! Maragil and Skyrim are right, Commander. Ark is lost. But our war against the High Ones isn't. The beacon still stands, and it will continue to do so as long as we hold the temple. We've lost the battle, yes, but not the war. All we need is the Numenars, and then the beacon will be lit.
And what then? I don't think Korak will withdraw once we've destroyed his vision of this ascent.
Correct, he won't. Which is why we will surrender.
What?
It is the only way. As I said to the Trichessa before, this war is about more than just us. If we choose to give up now, or if we choose to fight and die down there, Korak will destroy the beacon either way and let the cleansing happen. We will prevent that at all costs. Which is why we will find the Numenars, light the beacon, and then surrender.
But Korak will kill us all.
Yes, he will. We will die, but there is no alternative. Korak isn't man enough to participate in the battle himself. So even if we were to break out and fight, all we would do is kill his delusional soldiers. And their deaths would be as pointless as this entire war. Once the High Ones are vanquished, we've done our duty. That's it.
But no! We are warriors, and true warriors fight! You've said that!
Warriors ask questions. Like the question, when does a battle for ideals become nothing more than a battle for vanity? Those soldiers down there, Commander, they are nothing more than butchers. But we are more than that. But I will not stop you. As soon as the beacon is lit, you're free to flee.